In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, ever merciful, I'm going to start a series of lectures on learning English. Come, let's learn English. That the English language is the key to modern knowledge is now considered a truth. Only on this count, English is the world's most important language. It must be mentioned here that the English language is difficult to a non-native speaker, chiefly for three reasons. Its mode of spelling is irregular. Its vocabulary is very large, and it has many peculiar idioms. There runs a story that an Egyptian prince once asked the famous geometrician Euclid if there was not some easier way of mastering geometry that, than that which he had given in his Elements, and that the great mathematician replied, "No, prince, there is no royal road to geometry. The same can be said of learning English, that there is no short and easy way of getting a complete knowledge of the language." There are two ways of learning a language. The first one is the language environment. A child learns his native language from the language environment he is in. This is the natural process of learning a language. The second one is to learn a language through the mechanics of the language, that is, learning the language through the sets of rules of the language. Here begins the role of grammar in acquiring the knowledge of the language. The purpose of my effort is to provide help and guidance for the learners of English as a foreign or second language. They say, if you know tenses, you know English. I, therefore, shall try to explain tenses as clearly as possible. Many of us believe that the term tense means time, but it is not so. The words time and tense must not be confused. The time stands for a concept with which all mankind is familiar, divided into past, present, and future. It is something independent of language. The word tense stands for a verb form or series of verb forms used to express a time relation. Tenses vary in different languages. Tenses vary in different languages. Tenses may point out whether an action, activity, or state is past, present, or future. Tense may also indicate whether an action, activity, or state is, was, or will be complete, or whether it is, was, or will be in progress over a period of time. English verbs have only two simple tenses. The tenses called the simple present, as for example, he works, and the simple past, as for example, he worked. The simple present can be used of past, present, and future time. Consider this question and answer. How does Aslam earn his living? He sells books. The verb sells is simple present, but this verb describes Aslam's activities in the past, in the present, and in the future. He sold books last year, he is selling books now, and he will sell books in the future. Consider this sentence. The plane leaves Karachi at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon. Afternoon. The verb leaves is simple present tense. It is used of an event in the future. Consider the verb wrote in these sentences. If I wrote a letter to my brother, now, he would receive the letter tomorrow morning. To my brother tomorrow. He would receive the letter on Thursday morning. Past tense, future time. Consider the verb wrote in these sentences. Consider the verb wrote in these sentences. I wrote a letter to my brother last week. Past tense. Past time. Past time. If I wrote to my brother if I wrote to my brother tomorrow, he would receive You would receive the letter on Thursday. On Thursday. Past tense, future time. Past tense, future time. Consider new and were. In these sentences. I wish I knew where Akram was living now. Past tense. Present time. The sentence means I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know. As Akram is living. It is time. It is time the children were in bed. Were past tense. Present time. The sentence means the sentence means the children ought to be in bed now. In bed now. It is therefore important not to confuse present time and present tense, past time and past tense, future time and future tense. Please wait for the next session.